Hello, hi. Hey, how are you today? In this video, I want to talk to you about living between two levels or realms or dimensions because it feels like that. Hi, I'm Patricia. Welcome to my channel, which is about twin flame ascension and everything twin flame. Let's get into it. So, here's the thing. There are times on your journey when you can feel like you're in God's waiting room. You can feel like you're in a void. You can feel like a hermit. This doesn't feel like that. So if you're tracking, you should feel like you're in between two places. It can make you feel like you're walking a tightrope. It can make you question your mental state. And that's a lot of people right now. They're wondering, what in the heck is going on? Why is your higher self like pushing you in certain ways, and yet it's a distinct feel. You are between two levels. You're not quite where you're going, and yet you are leaving the fourth dimension. That's what it has to do with leaving the fourth dimension. And it can be physically painful, it can be uncomfortable, it can carry a whole slew of ascension symptoms. You can have what I call an ascension event, which means that something suddenly gets triggered or needs to release. It can almost seem like a medical crisis, except you're okay, right? Except you also have to work on your light body. Okay, you can't leave it at that, because if your higher self is prodding you, prompting you, pushing you, making you pay attention, please pay attention. Learn the body work so that you can become adept at it, because that is where it is at. It's not up here in your frontal lobe. In fact, your frontal lobe is going to drain when these things happen. So some things to know about this. Both of you in your last 3 lives, a minimum of your last 3 lives, you were already in separation. Death parted you. That means you were already in 2 different realms. You were in 2 different levels. And people scratch their head and they'll say, why does it feel like even if I connect to my twin, I'm not connected? Why is it taking so long? Why is this separation taking so long? Yeah, because it's been already for a couple of lifetimes. That means it pertains to your past lives. That means that there is a cleanup on aisle 3 to take care of. You have to clean it up. You have to clear it. You have to work on it. And people don't understand how easy this work can be when they do the work that I have already set up the protocols on. Okay, so another thing, you feel like you're hanging or dangling between 2 places. It literally will feel like you are just dangling there. You're just dangling between here and there. You don't want to go back there, but you're not here, and you're just kind of dangling. There are physical sensations that go with this. Head ringing, vertigo, feeling like you're on a moving vehicle such as a ship and you have to find your sea legs. You can get up at night and feel very dizzy. In fact, I'm going to say this: be careful, hold on to things just like you would on a moving vehicle or a ship or a train. Don't take any chances. I've known people who've fallen already, and it's not pretty, and you could get hurt. And you might say, why does my higher self want me to get hurt? Your higher self doesn't. Your higher self wants you to pay attention and do the things that you need to do to release and to transmute and to heal and to gain your balance. Okay? Mental balance, physical balance, calmness, mental clarity, releasing addictions. You have no idea how much of this like head spinny stuff actually pertains to a lot of the crap that has happened in lifetimes, particularly your past 3 or 4 lives. There is a lot of swift past cosmic level dreams. That's very true. I somehow dreamt that I was on a level and it felt like a planet, didn't feel like Earth, and it felt like there were invaders that came. And me and my people, who were your people? I don't know, I could just feel them as my people. Well, that's your cosmic Hera connection through your causal body. Well, it was sort of terrifying, and yet I knew I was safe, and yet it was terrifying, and we were running, and there was nowhere to hide. There was nowhere. I just couldn't wait for the dream to be over. How was it in the morning? Weird. It was very weird, and I felt disoriented, and I didn't know what to do, and I kept wondering and wondering. We talk about those kind of experiences in my life classes. People pose questions, they share their dreams. You may not know how much it could help you to hear other people and the things they're going through. Does everyone go through this at the same time? No. But there are a lot of people going through it. And that's a lot of people because you need to get where you're going. But you need to also expand your light body because that is where it's at. You need to unplug from old situations. Do you want to stay plugged into the same old people, places, things, planets, whatever, at that old level, in the old paradigm, in the fourth dimension? Fourth dimension is going to be weird. You're seeing a lot of the weirdness with just like the things that just don't make sense. The politics, the fighting, people fighting over some dusty strip of land, people who are dead. And I'm going to just say this. My heart goes out to the families who lost their kids and all the people in the Texas flooding. I'm not sure how much is preventable. However, I will say this. Here in Chicago, we had a flooding event where by the 8th day of straight pouring sheets of rain like we were in the Congo, it was scary. How do you turn off a faucet that's right above you? And you have to deal with it, no matter what people say about conspiracy theories. This is real pain for real people. And my heart goes out. I encourage you to donate what you can, not to me. Send it to an organization that is trustworthy, that has boots on the ground and can do it. I know that there's a lot of people that want to help people. This is a good thing, but we need to get to prevention, okay? When you have a government that is cutting programs left and right, listen, why did it flood? Why? I don't know. It floods every once in a while. There's a catastrophic flooding. Here, we kind of know the reason. Where I live, it's 100-year floodplain. It's not supposed to flood like that except every 100 years. Those are old maps. It's been paved over. There's nowhere for the water to go. There's no wetlands. The concrete does not absorb it. You pave paradise and put up a parking lot. What do you expect? It's not all attributable to, it's sort of this short-sightedness. And we need to get back to prevention and being sensible. So yes, unplug from old situations from the past. Are you done with low vibe energies? You can feel as though you've had a situation where you're just like, I walked in and I'm kind of doing some work on my body and I felt low vibe energy. Why is that? How is that? Yeah, you should be able to sense it. We are not living in a place in that lower realm or that lower level where everyone's doing their work. In fact, this can happen to you in a meditation group, in a class, at a place, at the grocery store. Conversely, you can also have really light and lovely people. And that is a benefit of your light body, where it's sort of, instead of you just dangling in outer space, you can feel like you are elevated to a level that actually befits and is better for your energy, better for your personal vibe, not dragging you down, not pulling you down. You don't want to be like this, like, whoa, 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 this is a moving target. Whoa, whoa. You need to stabilize. You need to feel balanced. You need to feel grounded at a new level. Grounding yourself to the old places ain't going to cut it for you. In fact, it's going to hurt, and it's like going to be like throwing an anchor down. Stop it. Stop now. Stop. Stop yourself from those old things. Learn the new way. Learn how to work with your brand new connections, your new heart grounding connections, which are in the upper body. They're here. They're here. They're not down in your lower chakras. They're not in your private parts. That is all clogged up with tons of energy from at least several lives, if not thousands and gazillions of lives. Have you ever cleared your sexual energy? Did you make babies with people? Did you ever clear yourself? Most people don't even know that that is something they should do. But I regularly teach that so that you can be free. Okay, we're in the month of freedom and independence. How free and independent would you feel if all of your root stuff isn't tied out with all the rest of the collective, distracting you, pulling the life out of you, draining your money out of you? Your family's lineage stuff that keeps coming up, the physical, genetic, biological stuff. Time to be sensible and get rid of the low vibe energies pronto. Yes, you should feel it. Yes, because some of these are your warning bells. Ooh, low vibe energy. People aren't going to, if two people encounter each other, it's not going to be like, hey, back off. I have low vibe energy. Oh, thanks for the warning. They're not going to do that. They don't even know. They don't know that, all the abuse, because they're, attractive, all the abusers that they've attracted are clinging to them. They don't know. And they wonder, why do they attract the same person? Never cleared. Doesn't even know to clear. And yet I'm telling you right now, yes, you do. Yes, you do. If you've skipped out on that part of your journey, time to do it. Okay, if you have 3, 4 kids, if you had a kid, even if that kid lives with your spouse, if you have parents, if you have siblings, if you had a relationship, if you had a bad relationship, if you have a job, if you have a moneymaker, it's all tied in there. It's all tangled up in there. Yes, let's get you cleared and free and independent. Financial independence, retire early. That is part of the plan with getting you out of the old realm. But you got to work it. Okay, low vibe energies, and guess what else? Sometimes animal messengers are showing up. They begin to show up. I've had people report deer. Now, this is summer here. I guess it's not uncommon to have animals encroaching into areas where humans aren't interacting. But when it's unusual and it kind of hits your heart energy, where it feels like there's more to it than that. Yeah, you're getting an animal messenger sent by the divine to tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, pay attention to this or that. It could be a cat. I've had a hummingbird. I've had other people with hummingbirds. A hawk, blue jays, deer, fox. Some of the more, unusual ones are certain types of insects, things that may not be too common. And I'm not talking about a mosquito bite. I'm talking about those uncommon, kind of like, there's a butterfly and it seems to keep following you and it's gorgeous. And you're just like, oh my God, look at that beautiful iridescent blue butterfly. It's tracking me. Yeah. So what does it mean? Well, these can mean things for you. And we are coming into this prime Lionsgate energy, which has to do with the past, with your cosmic connections, with your health and love, health and love life. Your love life is important. A lot of people are losing the thread on this. Okay, as much as there's messages from the animals, the message is still love, that your higher self loves you, wants to support you, wants to nudge you, wants to give you a really feel good way of delivering that message. Yeah, you might have to look up something. Look it up, feel it, and take heed. Okay, a lot of people get tons of messages and then they're like, show me a sign, show me a sign. Stop it. Get cracking with your light body with me. Then you will not only get more than enough signs, you'll get them at the appropriate moments, the appropriate timing for your season. Listen, two realms. One of those realms lives in linear time. The sun goes up, the sun goes down. We have 4 turns of the season. We have full moons, new moons. Okay. It's like a clock. Okay. But it's like a track too. You're going from this point to this point, and then this point to this point. You can feel things through your body, and there is a season for certain things. There may be a season to adjust your reproductive system, which we are in right now because, yeah, how many people have been in your coochie or private parts in the cosmos? You might not want to think of it that way, except it's the truth. And your higher self is like, hang on a minute. I need to use this energy to what? Oh my God, get rid of those invaders. It was so scary, creepy. We had to hide, right? Okay, so let's get real about this. This is a very thorough cleaning and clearing for your benefit. Reconnect to the elemental. How do you do that? Well, I teach you how to do that. What is the elemental realm? The elemental realm is connected to the cosmos, but it's right down here on planet Earth. It's not fairies, it's the elemental. It's the things that we think of as primal, like the ocean, the mountains. It's gemstones. It is crystals. It's teas. It's essences. How do we get you reconnected properly using some elemental things so that you're actually balancing this with the realms? I know how to teach you. I know how to do this with you and have you learn. You will learn it and you will feel it. So if you like that stuff, this is right up your alley. We talk about it. Do you need to go crazy? Listen, I'm going to tell you something. Try to stay balanced. This journey is not about extremes, even when the energy feels extreme. It's not like going to the amusement park where just to feel that roller coaster, they had to make it so extreme. I just hate that because some people love it because that's the only way it gets through their density. Other people, it scares the crap out of them. It's not a one size fits all, but your twin flame is the size that fits you. You help each other, you fit to each other, you melt together, you love each other. If you're not believing in this love, it's time to join my stuff where we get you in those feels. Other things you can experience: sleeping or especially napping. Have any of you been napping in the daytime? Put a comment down there. Are you having any of these things? Are you feeling kind of wiped out mid-afternoon, but you're at the office and you just can't? And then you get home and you want to go to sleep and you're saying to yourself, is this how elderly people feel? Yes, sometimes they do. Are you ready for the senior discount on your dinner at the diner? Well, sometimes it can feel like that, like you just want your senior dinner and go to sleep. And yet you're still childbearing age, or you're young, or you're just not that old. Doesn't matter. This can be a part of this energy. And then at night, you're sleeping, but you're having some disrupted sleep with some of these dreams. So if you would like to join us, I am doing a workshop in the evenings or in the mornings, 10th, 11th, 12th, or 9th, 10th, 11th. We start at 7 p.m. This is good for people on the West Coast, Hawaii, If you're in Europe, EU, uh, anywhere around the Mediterranean, these times will make sense to you. What do you think? Do you think you want to ascend? Do you think that maybe you can help each other? Do you think that maybe, even though it's a lot of weird stuff, it's kind of gelling for you and saying, yeah, this makes sense? I'm going to say one more thing should make sense to you. In terms of the separation, okay? Why are the separations taking so long? Well, if you were to take all of the thousands of lifetimes you've had and compress it into like, hey, there's a season or there's a couple of years, you had some heavy stuff. Girl, you were wounded. You were traumatized. You had all these things happen, not just to you, but your entire people, your planet, right? And your higher self would say, like, hang on a minute, we've got to get rid of this, because when you come together, that's for togetherness. You're not supposed to, spit and polish on each other. You're supposed to be kissing. There's other things that will happen when you're in that togetherness with your light body. Let's get the old one trashed and discarded. Let's get the new one opened up and running and test drive it, give you a test run, give you some of what it feels like, right? That's what's going on. And that is what I realized. And so it made the idea of separation a little bit more tolerable, but you'll still miss each other. You're supposed to miss each other. You're not supposed to roll over and play dead. You're not supposed to go out and date people. Yes, you are supposed to get that divorce if you were shown that. Yes, you are. And I'm not a homewrecker. I'm not telling people like abandon your kids. Look, early on I had people do that. They just were like, oh, I'm a twin flame. I'm going to abandon all my responsibilities. No, stop that. It's not funny because you see people out there being irresponsible and then they rationalize it. No, there's a way to do that and balance it. And the way is through your light body. You need to support the people that you created or are responsible for. You need to be supported. You need to be loved. And with enough love, you can accomplish great things. So, and then some. So, I hope to see you there. Reach out to me or check the links below. Have a session, have an energy healing plus integration, because this isn't just about cord cutting anymore. This is big stuff. This is what you signed on for. Thanks so much for watching and have a good day. Bye.